There we go. It says live. Okay. Hey, ladies. Happy Tuesday. Oh no, it says live starting. There we go. Okay. I think I'm good now. Let's see. I think I'm good. Okay. So, today we are going to talk about building boundaries. And I love talking about superheroes, superpowers. So your superpower against anxiety, one of them being setting healthy boundaries. Okay, so it's really important to handle anxiety by setting healthy boundaries. Imagine it's like building a shield to protect yourself from too many worries and stresses. Are you ready to discover the superpower? Okay, so this has probably been the biggest change for me since overcoming so much of my anxiety. And you're finding the power and the strength inside of you to talk about your feelings. You do matter. Your feelings do matter. And so that's basically what setting boundaries, healthy boundaries, means. So I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Ian Bertil. I am a metamorphosis mentor, and I am certified in anxiety relief healer and master practitioner, and I'm almost certified in rapid reprogramming. So it's very exciting around here. Okay, so I just started my business in May, and I'm just trying to just find what works best, what helps you guys the most, and I love going live on Tuesday to give you some free trainings. Okay, so first, let's understand what anxiety is. Anxiety is like your brain is working super hard, way on overtime, and that's not okay. It's not okay. It feels like a million thoughts are running through your brain, and you're just like, where do I go? What do I do? Yeah, it's a lot. Sometimes it brings, sometimes I'll start crying. I don't do it as much anymore because I'm able to control it, but you can literally bring yourself to tears and crying over something that is just manifested in your mind. It's so powerful. So we've got to take control of our anxiety. Say hey if you're watching. If you're watching the replay, let me know. I always love to hear from you guys. Let's see. So imagine boundaries is like an invisible line around you. And these lines help you decide what's okay and what's not okay. Just like you have rules in games, there's rules for yourself too. And you need to set them. Those are the healthy boundaries. So it's just like saying no when you're feeling overwhelmed, or when you say yes when you're feeling comfortable. It's like that superhero cape, and you decide when you want to put it on. So here are some quick steps to identify or to help you set the healthy boundaries. So identify your feelings. Notice when you start to feel anxious or uncomfortable or overwhelmed. You know those feelings that you get. Boundary right now. So take a moment, close your eyes, take a good deep breath, work on our breathing as we always should be doing. Think about the situation that makes you feel really anxious. I'll give some examples here soon, but just think about something that makes you feel really anxious. Now think about one healthy boundary you could set to make yourself feel better, to make the situation better. Maybe it's telling someone you need a break or asking for help. Can you think of one that you would like to set a boundary with? I would love to know if you want to write it in the comments below. Setting health boundaries involves defining what is acceptable and unacceptable behaviors or interactions that you would like. So here's an example. Okay, so you have a friend who often calls you late at night to chat or vent about their problems. While you want to be a supportive friend, these late night calls are starting to disrupt your sleep and leave you feeling tired and stressed. They do not mean to bring out the unhealthy relationship or unhealthy boundary. So here's some things that you should try to do in that situation. So self-reflection. First, take some time to think about how the situation is affecting you. You're losing sleep, you're stressed, you're tired. It's not helping your side of the relationship. It's only helping one side. Acknowledge your feelings and your needs. So you need a good night's sleep in order to function well during the day. We talk about that all the time, just let alone with your own anxiety. You don't need more other people's anxiety on top of that. Again, this is just an example. So communication, reach out to your friend and have an open and honest conversation. You may say something like, I really value our friendship and I want to be there for you. However, the late night calls are affecting my sleep and make me feel really tired and stressed. I know it sounds way easier said than done, right? Express your feelings and your needs. Let your friend know how their actions make you feel. For example, I feel tired and stressed when I don't get enough sleep, and I'm finding it challenging to be the best friend I want to be. Set the boundary. Clearly state the boundary you want to set. In this case, you might say, I'd like to ask that we limit our calls to earlier in the evening. Okay. He's had a horrible cough forever. Okay, so I'd like to ask we limit our calls to earlier in the evening or find another way to communicate when it's late. This would help me get the rest that I need. Offer alternatives. Be open to finding solutions together. Suggest alternative ways to stay connected or offer a schedule-specific time for longer conversations during the day. Stick to your boundary is huge, very important. Once you've communicated your boundary, it's important to stick to it. If your friend continues to call late at night, gently remind them of the boundary you've set and why it's important to you. Self-care. We always talk about self-care. Use the extra sleep and reduce stress to take care of yourself. Wow, what is happening? Where's Ho-Ho? Santa's coming. Let me do my work, please, member. We talked about this. We went out and played. Now it's time for Mommy to work. Okay. That was my deal. We got to go outside and play for a little bit. Just Mommy and Henley time, my son. What are you doing? Oh, okay. Be careful. Let's see. He's a very busy boy. Okay. So your self-care is you're getting extra sleep. You're reducing your stress by taking care of yourself. This could mean getting a good night's sleep, practicing relaxation techniques, relaxation techniques. Setting a healthy boundary in this scenario is about prioritizing your well-being while still maintaining a supportive relationship and a friendship. It's essential to communicate your needs and feelings respectively and be willing to work together to find a solution to benefit you and your friend, right? It's a two-way street. Every relationship's a two-way street. You have to work together. Everyone is different, so remember that. Everyone has different life experiences, so they will have different values and different boundaries. Maybe the friend is okay talking all night because they work every night. Like they're, I don't know, doing something at a desk and they're bored and they just want to talk. And then they sleep all day. So that's what I'm saying. Like, they don't mean to overstep your boundary. They just don't realize that it's happening until you let them know. And there's no should. I always say, I don't like should or shouldn't. You should be doing this. You shouldn't be doing that. I don't like that at all. So that again is with this, there's no right or wrong, but you don't want to say, it may come off wrong if you say, you should not be calling me that late. That just doesn't sound as nicely as saying, hey, maybe we should talk a little bit earlier in the night. So you just can't expect everyone to understand your boundaries. You just have to be, brave enough to state them. So, like I mentioned earlier, if people do not listen to your boundary that you would have set and you that is not on you. If they don't listen, that's not on you. You tried to express what a healthy relationship looks like and they didn't listen. My husband and I, very early on in a relationship, here's another example, we talked about PDA. So you might see us holding hands, maybe even kiss, like that's even like a pushing it in public. But that's just one of those boundaries that we both agreed on early on. And especially like in the workplace, you'll never see us hold hands or kiss or anything. Or say, here's another example. So like a friend has asked you to help them move every 3 months for the last 4 years. That's a lot. And so one day you're just going to be like, hey, this is too much on my body. This is too much time commitment. Just you're going to really want to talk to them about setting that boundary. So as kids, we are taught good touch, bad touch, right? Everyone knows that, but there are so many more boundaries that we need to talk about. So many more. Let's see. So another boundary I have at home is my emotional energy boundary. I am very much an empathic person, and if I'm having a strong energy day, or if I've been around a bunch of people, in other words, a lot, like if I go to a conference or something all day, at nighttime, I just need to lay in my bed and relax. That's how I'm going to recharge myself. And I try to express that to my family. Well, I do express that to my family. And I do it in a way where they're not offended. Like, I don't want my husband to think I just don't want to be with him. I don't want to spend time with him. Because I do. But right now, I just need to relax and fill my cup back up. Let's see. So, we just can't keep saying yes to everything. That's basically what this is coming down to, setting healthy boundaries. I mean, like I said, this has been a huge thing for me ever since, the last few years. Like, I've learned to just be like, no, I'm sorry, I can't do that. Especially with anxiety, with us having anxiety, with that being in the picture as well, it won't end up good for anybody. You won't set your boundaries, have your space. Okay, buddy. I'm on this computer. Please let me work. Okay. You want to set your boundaries, have your space, and then you'll be able to give 100% to everyone else, right? I do recommend starting with safe people. So safe people are like your significant other, your friend, your parent. Trying to set boundaries is very hard. It is. If you are not used to setting boundaries, it's very hard to do. And so if you do it with the wrong person and they don't respect your boundary, then you're going to feel like it's something that you did wrong. And we don't need that. We don't need that at all. Let's see. So, yeah. Okay. And then also remember that it takes others time to remember your boundaries. You can't expect someone to remember it one time. Well, you can expect it, but don't be upset if they don't remember it, the second time. Just kindly say, oh yeah, remember that's, too late of a phone call, or, whatever. Like I said, everyone has different boundaries. And then you'll know, like an open-minded person, like myself, that's who you want to talk to about these situations, because they are not going to they're not going to have like a set, what am I trying to say? Like, they're not going to detour the conversation or change your feelings about the other person, things like that. Like, that's why it's very particular who you want to ask advice to. I hope that made sense. Okay. Anyways, I love to hear from you guys. So, hope you guys have a wonderful day and a wonderful week. Let me know if you need anything else. I'll talk to you soon.